Hanji means Korean paper or the paper of Korea. So Han refers to Korea and ji means paper. I don't know if hanji is a dying art, but it's definitely like all handcraft traditions that require a lot of intense labor. The essence of it, I feel like, is dying out. Teaching hanji in Sacramento has definitely changed my life. It can be very meditative, and it's nice to get to work with your hands and like be outside. My name is Steph Rue, and I'm an artist. So this is tak. In Japanese, it's kozo. It's paper mulberry. It's the inner bark of the mulberry tree. It grows all over Korea, and that's why they use this material historically. It's what makes hanji very durable. It can then be used in so many different ways, not just for like important documents and paintings and prints and things, obviously, but also like it's used in Korea for flooring, covering walls, windows, doors, like furniture, lighting. It's been cooked for several hours, and now we're rinsing it. It's rinsed really well and then beaten by hand. You add that to the vat with plenty of water. You also add another solution called formation aid. It's mixed really well. Then you have a screen that sits on a frame. Basically, you pick up the slurry that's in the vat and you kind of move side to side. In Korea, it's sort of the indigenous method is this it's called hulinteugi, where it's like flowing onto and off the screen. So after a sheet is formed, it gets cooched or transferred onto a post, and the post is your stack of freshly formed sheets. Growing up in Cleveland, or a suburb of Cleveland, there were not a lot of Korean people around me like in my neighborhood. I belonged to a Korean church through my parents. Kids that were my age, a lot of us didn't really speak Korean. It always felt like there was a disconnect between who I was and what I looked like. I was really fortunate to get a Fulbright scholarship, which allowed me to live in Korea for 10 months. So I got to learn papermaking from like a papermaking master at a mill kind of in the countryside. I have to say it was pretty intimidating to work with some of these masters, especially given the language barrier. Since living in Sacramento, I now have 2 kids, and I think being a mom has put questions of identity in the forefront. I want them to be way more connected to their identity and their heritage.
This is from a long time.
So that's really motivated me in my life and in my art practice. Yeah, like that, and then go in. So I've taught a bunch of workshops before. One thing that I heard a lot was that outside of church, there really aren't very many Korean spaces, like safe places for people to connect.
I attended one of the workshops with my mom and her friend, and we saw people that were kids all the way up to grandparent age, I guess, technically. Some of those workshops did bring up people's experiences as just being Korean American and what that meant for them. I work in a clinic. That's what I do full time. Thursdays I have a day off, so often if Steph has stuff that needs to be done and she might need help, I'm definitely a willing and eager helper.
Deb is great. We've just developed a really natural friendship through her coming out and helping. She always says she doesn't know anything, but now she knows the whole process. I would say my ultimate goal at this stage of my life for teaching hanji is to build community and to have folks, whether they're of the Korean diaspora or have an interest in it, for them to have a way to connect, whether it's to nature or to their culture or to their history. Even folks who are not of the diaspora but have their own histories and maybe had not thought about accessing it through natural materials or through hand processes. If I can somehow get more people to connect with each other and appreciate more what goes into making these handcrafted items, and I think that would be a success for me.